All right, everyone, we're about to get started. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I wanted to welcome and thank you for joining us today. In today's gathering, we're hosting Imam Fode Drame, our spiritual guide and teacher. For those in attendance who are meeting or hearing Imam for the first time, you're in for something special. Imam Fode Drame is a prolific author, linguist, Quranic exegete, teacher, father, international speaker, and at the forefront of several community initiatives. He established Zawiya Foundation in Vancouver, BC back in 2005, a nonprofit charity focused on his vision for humanity. Since then, there have been several US-based chapters opened. From those, 3 chapters will be visited during this West Coast tour. His first stop is our very own Seattle. Imam Fode's work, whether through his foundation or his writings, is particularly concerned with providing the building blocks for the construction of human character, which is the foremost among the subject matters of the glorious Quran. In particular, Imam's teachings prepare the heart of the seeker to connect with God. The manner of this preparation is to foster a triangular connection with God by firstly embodying remembrance, dhikr, which leads to familiarity with God, also known as uns. Secondly, embodying God's word, which leads to love, also known as hope. And finally, embodying gratitude, which leads to God's pleasure, also known as ridwan. Our local Seattle chapter holds bi-weekly dhikr gatherings. Please join our WhatsApp channel for details on location and time. And with this, we will transition our attention to Imam Fode Drame for our lecture and then afterward.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad bin Nabi Ummi ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kasiran wa ba'd. The topic of this discussion is dual citizenship, that a concept that legal of we are all familiar with somebody who is a citizen of more than one country. So you are a citizen of one country. Most of us are here, because most of us have immigrated from somewhere where we were a citizen before becoming a citizen of Canada or US. So legally you're familiar with that. But the Quran used at the same time as well those who inherit. So what inherit? Warith. Those who inherit this world and inherit the next world. Those are called dual citizens in the Quranic language. Very often, human beings are single citizens, most of them. Those who only affiliate with this worldly life and do not pursue the life of hereafter. So those are citizens of only of this world. It ends there when they die. But there are those also on the extreme side who only espouse the next world and completely neglect, they disconnect and disengage totally from this world. So they also are single citizens, even though that they are better than the first group. But they only are citizens of the hereafter. They have nothing to do with the here. So Quran always mention these three categories very often. And of course, what we all are seeking and hoping that Allah will help us attain is to be a dual citizen, to live truly in this life and to live truly in the hereafter. So we become citizens, not either of this or the next, but the citizens, what they call Ibad al-Rahman, the servants of Ar-Rahman. Because Ar-Rahman as a name encompasses this life and the next. So those who are able to maintain a proper balance between this life and the next life, these are called Ibadul Rahman, the servants of Ar-Rahman. And then he goes on to describe their characteristics, how it looks like to be an Abdul Rahman, truly a servant of that particular name of Allah, Ar-Rahman. And I'm sure we are familiar with the difference between the name Ar-Rahim and Ar-Rahman. So, Bismillah, the opening ayah of every surah, Bismillah, Ar-Rahmani Ar-Rahim. So, by the name of Allah, the first one, it is the name of God's essence. Like everything has, God created everything also and give them an essence. An essence is a neutral state of an entity. Then Ar-Rahman is the one whose Rahman encompasses everything. So that's the meaning of Ar-Rahman. Whose Rahman encompasses everything. And that includes this world and the next world. So that's what Ar-Rahman means. Ar-Rahim is one whose mercy or ni'mah or blessing is specific to the believers only in the hereafter. So Ar-Rahman is general, Rahim. Ar-Rahim is particular and specific, Rahim. So if you say Abdul Rahman, you have a different meaning in mind. If you say Abdul Rahim, you have a different meaning in mind. If you say Abdullah, also you have a different meaning in mind. But Abdul Rahman, that's Ibadul Rahman. The servants of Ar-Rahman, they are the ones who are going to inherit this earth. So that's to say that we should not run away from our responsibility and only seek the hereafter and neglect the here. That will not make you Abdul Rahman. If you want to be a true servant of Ar-Rahman, you will have to cultivate, you have to engage in this world, and of course engage as well into the next world. Then you become Ar-Rahman. So these are the three categories. The people of the left, Ashab al-Shimal, people of the right. So those are the two polarities. People of the left are those who have chosen left, always means this world. This world. Right means the left. Al-Akhirah. Al-Dunya on the left. Al-Akhirah on your right. So that's why if you Quran talks about giving someone their book in their right or in their left. In that. And that depends on where your light is. If your light on your right, then your book will come from your right. That means that you see with the eye of the Akhirah. Depending where your nur is situated. If your light, so everybody has a light. It depends, light takes you where. So the one who is right, Ashabul Yamin, just that نورهم بأيمانهم يسعى نورهم بين أيديهم وبأيمانهم. Their light moves in front of them and by their right. So those whose light moves on their right, these are the people who are moving towards the light, which leads you to Akhirah, to Jannah. Those whose light, those who see with the light, are on their left. These are the people who see simply with the light of their mind, as opposed to the light of their heart, which is the light that shows you things from your right. So you see from the right or you see from the left. It's two different perception. If you see from the left, then perforce your perception, your ideas, your thoughts are all focused on the left, which is this world. It's this one or this one. So these are the 2 poles. أصحاب اليمين أصحاب الميمنة ما أصحاب الميمنة أصحاب المشأمة ما أصحاب المشأمة والسابقون السابقون أولئك المقربون. The people of the right, how do you know who are the people of the right? People of the left, and people of the middle. That's what we're talking about here. People of the middle, those who see with both lights. Both lights. I mean, that's what we call light upon light. They see both worlds, but in a proper sequence. That means that they see from both lights, or they see rather from all dimensions, all the 6 dimensions, whether it's right, left, front, behind, above, and below. And they call it jihad simple. So there are people whose light is all, like their light is from all angles. You had the famous hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said to the companion, أقيموا ركوعكم وسجودكم فإني أراكم من خلفي كما أراكم من أمامي. He said, perform your prostration and your bowing properly, because I can see you from behind me as much as I can see you from in front of me. So it doesn't matter anymore. When somebody has that all-encompassing light, they can see from all angles. So these are the people, that's what I'm trying to bring it in a language that is closer to our understanding in terms of the citizenship, dual citizen, so to speak. Those are the Rahmaniyun, the servants of Ar-Rahman, those who seek both Rahmah, the Rahmah in this life and the Rahmah in the hereafter. And those who possess both lights, the light that shows you the hereafter, and the light that shows you the here as well. So they are competent and when they think about both worlds. So these are the people who are the highest performance. Those who don't neglect one for the other. They are able to keep strike a proper balance between this life and the next one. So we said that Allah talks about in Surah 2 Al-Hadid, about 2 groups of people who they used to mingle when they used to live here, but they had their lights were in different positions. I mean, they used to see from different perspectives. One group used to see with the light in their lights. The other was to see with the light in their lives. But they used to be friends and associates and colleagues. They mingled together in this life. So when the day of resurrection, they are resurrected in the hereafter. And they all came back to life, and they are all moving together to the judgment scene, to their final destinations. And as they were moving, suddenly all physical lights went off. I mean, the sun lights went off, stars went off, everything went off. It became completely dark. And those who were used to go by the lights on their left, they see from the left. Now suddenly they have no light. Those lights, they go off. It does not go beyond this light. So those who had their lights on their lights became visible, shown forth in front of them on their right. So their light keeps going. So now their friends and their acquaintances who used to see from their left, and now they have no light. Now they are crying out to this other group to please, let's take from your light. يوم يقول المنافقون والمنافقات للذين آمنوا انظرونا نقتبس من نوركم. Let's take from your light. Yes, doable, except it's not doable in the hereafter. But if somebody has a light and his light is on his right side, and you mingle with him out of love of God, and love, so slowly, your light also decided to develop on your left, on your right side, because of association. So we got that iqtibas al-anwar, taking the light. So you can take a light, one can take a light from someone can take a light from him, so the light keeps growing as one takes light from one another. That's how so that the light spreads in a community. From one spreads to all the rest. But that is possible while you are here in this world. It's not possible in the hereafter. You see two people standing side by side on the day of judgment. One has the light, the one is in the complete darkness. You can't even benefit from the light beside him. Allah puts a veil between the two. My hijab, as God says, there's a hijab between the two sides. So they cannot take from their light. So when they say that, let's take from your light, they said to them, they had a voice calling them, go and take a light, go back, get a light. So when they hear, go back and seek a light, they took it literally, that they have to walk back. So they all rushed back. That's to say that if you feel that you lost your light, it can happen here. While you are going, while you start to go off the road and hitting into going in the darkness, your light extinguishes. When you feel that your light, you don't have a light, don't keep pushing ahead, still try to go back. But going back means going back to God. Make the sleep, make tawbah, and come back, and then get the light again. So you wara'akum faltamisu nura. Go back and seek a light. So when they told them that go back and seek a light, they all rush back. And when they rush back, then Allah brings a wall between them. فَضُرُبْ بَيْنَهُمْ بِسُورٍ لَهُ بَابٌ. Now they are out, so they are outside. One group is outside of the wall, defense, the other group is inside. So those who had their lights on their right were inside. Those who had their lights on used to have it on their left, but now they don't have even that. The light ends, it goes out when you leave this world. The other light doesn't leave you. And also the one that has both lights, that both light merge into one single light that shows you everything from all sides. So that's what we mean by trying to inherit this world. Don't give up. Until the believer has no share in this world. That's not true. This world is meant for the believers as much as the next one is meant for them. Simply because most people aren't able to bring a harmony between the two. They choose one and leave the other. Of course, if you have to choose, if it comes to that, definitely you should choose after, of course, the hereafter. If you cannot, if you're not able to keep sort of unify them into one, if you cannot do that, then at least choose the akhirah. But dunya is going to perish anyway. But of course, the ideal, the best thing, to be a true servant of God. That's what Abdul Rahman or Ibadur Rahman is, to be able to live in both worlds. So this Ibadur Rahman, this has got them al-warisun, the inheritors. وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا فِي الزَّبُورِ مِنْ بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ. Allah said, we wrote in the book of Sayyidina Dawood, called Zabur, that the earth will be inherited by my righteous servants. So there's no question that the earth is our inheritance. يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ, by my righteous servants. Again in Surah Al-Zumar, وقال الحمد لله الذي صدقنا وعده وأورثنا الأرض نتبوأ من الجنة حيث نشاء. The believers, they say, Alhamdulillah, all praise are due to Allah, who made his promise true to us and has made us to inherit the earth. And we live in Jannah wherever we want. That's the way it's supposed to be. Al-Warisun Al-Kamilun, the perfected heirs, inheritors. Because you inherit this world and they inherit also the hereafter. Don't leave your share in this world. وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا. Seek what Allah has for you in the hereafter. But don't forget your share here. It's both a commandment and a prohibition. Seek وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا. The emphasis, of course, is not the same. It's different between when you say, tell somebody, seek this, than when you say, don't forget this. The emphasis is on seeking, it's stronger. That means he's saying that akhirah is more important, but that doesn't mean that you have to neglect dunya. No. There's no reason. Because simply akhirah is better. But akhirah, God says, akhirah is better and more lasting. But there is no reason for you, if you could, to neglect dunya, to abandon your share that God has given you here. So eat your share of this life as much as you can, and then your share in the hereafter, of course, is there. If you do that, then you become the all-encompassing heir, Rahman, those who inherit the earth at the end, and also will surely inherit also the hereafter. So let's see a bit about what God says about these dual citizens of dunya and akhirah. وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض حونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلام. The servants of Ar-Rahman who walk gently on the earth. And when the ignorant address them, he wants to engage them in ignorance, like acting ignorantly, they respond by saying salam, qalu salam. That's what they do in the daytime. So they have a life, their day life and night life are different. This Ibadur Rahman, these servants of Rahman. By daytime, they go into the world. They don't sit alone. They don't sit inside the masajid or the houses of worship. No. By day, they leave and go out into the world. يمشون على الأرض حولا. And when the ignorant address them, they will say salam, peace on you. I mean, the other ones have no time to engage in useless talk and discussion. What that statement is indicating is that they interact with people. They interact. They don't stay. They don't live in isolation. They go out and interact with real people. And sometimes some of those people are unpleasant. That's what they say. But the fact that some are unpleasant does not deter them from going out still. Don't say, no, I don't want to deal with ignorance and so forth and so forth. I'm going to stay home. Then you can't be Abdul Rahman. You can have that status. You can be out of another name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rahman, you have to go out and face the world and face people. And then be faced out by people. So go out, interact with people, mingle with people. And whenever you can advise. If you can make da'wah, make da'wah. If you can do tabligh, go out every day. And the sun rises. It's rising for you to show you. It provides you the light so that you can go around and spread the light guidance. So this is the daytime. The night comes what? والذين يؤمنون بربهم سجدا وقياما. Those who spend the night for their Lord in sujood and qiyam, prostrating, standing up, kneeling, bowing down. That's how they spend it. Look at the day and the night. If you see them by day, you don't think that they do anything by night. If you see them by night, you think that they don't do anything by day. They give each time context it is right, it's how. The actions of day and actions of night. So he said, yeah, they spend the night with their Lord. So daytime, they leave Allah's presence and go into the world. Nighttime, they come back. So they go out, they come in. They go out, they come in. This is the flow. So and when they pass away, that doesn't stop. When they leave this world, they still with the same routine. They go out, their souls go out daytime into Jannah, in the paradise, and nighttime they come back and they spend the night in these lamps that are around the throne of God. That's what the hadith says. They sleep in these lamps at night, and daytime they all leave and go into Jannah. Those who are passed away, they go into Jannah. Those who are still here, when they leave Allah's presence, they go into the world and interact and mingle with them. يمشون على الأرض حولا يبيتون ربهم سجدا وقياما. The famous hadith, أبيت عند ربي يطعمني ويسقي. The Prophet said, I spend the night with my Lord, in my Lord's presence. And what? He feeds me and gives me the drink. The scholars, of course, say that it's not a physical food, but it gives me light, increase me in light and guidance. Because every day, at the end of the night, God pours out his, what they call fire. His bounty, his blessing, at the end of every night, he sends it out like a flood, like an inundation. So this flow that comes out from God's presence, people take it according to how close they are to the source. So if it breaks out, like it gushes out, like a fountain. This is a daily phenomenon. Every night this happens. It's happened at the beginning of creation, is repeated every day. This creation is renewed every day. So that when God released the commandment, He sends a commandment from above to below. So when the commandment goes out, He goes out with this flow, this inundation that is sustaining existence. In Surah Al-Hadid, God refers to those who are present when the commandment is released. الشهداء, the witnesses. والشهداء عند ربهم لهم أجرهم ونورهم. The witnesses, they're in their Lord's presence, they have their reward and their light. This is an everyday phenomenon. So when He said that I spend the night with my Lord, He feeds me and gives me, meaning that He sort of nurtures me in a spiritual sense, nurtures my soul with light and guidance. So every day you have to replenish yourself. You should be out in prayer when this gift is shared among the creation. Every day. While you are sleeping in your bed, you miss out on the sharing of this universal bounty that God shares among us every day. Those who are present are the first to get their share. Those who are present, those call them shuhada. Those who are present, those are witnesses. They first get their share. The leftover goes out for the rest of the creation. But those who are there get it first. وإذا حضر القسمة أولو القربى واليتامى والمساكين فارزقوهم منه When the sharing is attended, this case is talking about when you are sharing the inheritance of someone, and those who are present at the sharing, give them some out of the inheritance. So that happens every day. God shares this divine bounty that He pours down into the world. Those who are there, they first get drink and to their field. They get this substance first. Beyond them, it goes out. As it goes out into the world, then of course it doesn't remain pure at this point because it's mingling now with the world. But those who drink at the source drink it pure, unadulterated, untainted, unmixed, as is. يدبر الأمر من السماء إلى الأرض ثم يعرف إليه. So they drink as pure. It's like in Jannah, those who are in Jannatul Firdaus, that's where all the rivers that flow in Jannah, that's where they break out. So those who drink from the source, and then from the source it flows out. As it flows out, then of course it takes on different flavors. At the source it has no flavor, it's pure. It's pure milk. Then you mix out with, because the soil of Jannah is camphor, is musk, is ginger, and so forth and so forth. So as it flows out, it takes on all these qualities. That's why God said it's not the sun. ومزاجه زنجبيلا, it's mixed with ginger. كان مزاجها كافورا, it's mixed with camphor. So they are drinking. But those who drink at the source, عينا يشرب بها عباد. عين. Those who drink right from the source. And those are the ones who here acted as Ibadur Rahman. So are able to keep this perfect balance between the two lives. They have inclined to one and neglect the other. They're the people of pure Tawheed, and them are the ones who their drink is given to them as well, pure and not mixed. Then he goes on to describe Ibadur Rahman. So we said that at daytime they go out into the world and seek Allah's further bounties. Nighttime, they spend the night in the Lord's presence. والذين يقولون ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما. And those who supplicate, they make dua, and their dua is a reflection of fear and hope. We are talking about balancing. Some of the believers, they are dominated by fear of God. Some are dominated by hope in God. So they incline towards one or the other, but that also, as you said, is not the best position. The best are those who combine fear with hope in a very balanced way. Those are the Ibadur Rahman. So they ask Allah to safeguard them from the hellfire and also ask Allah to grant them Jannah. So they ask for Jannah and they ask protection from Jannah. That's called Ihsan. Because the Ihsan, as you know, is a mix, is a balance between hope and fear. خوفا وطمعا إن رحمة الله قريب من المحسنين. Ask Allah out of hope and fear, because Allah's mercy is close to people of Ihsan. So Ibadur Rahman, so they also command between hope and fear in a balanced way. And those who do not call any God beside Allah, and do not kill a life, and do not commit adultery, these are also Ibadur Rahman. That means that there are people who do not transgress the boundaries of God. What? That falls within which of the 7 words? Those who don't cross Allah's boundaries. Once again, those who know 7 words, 7 characteristics. Which one is that? Those who don't kill a life, those who do not commit adultery, I mean, those who do not transgress the boundaries set by God. Which characteristic will that be? No, taqwa. Exactly. So I also said that if you know the 7 characteristics, you can study the Quran from these 7 akhlaq very easily. Doesn't talk about taqwa in but this is taqwa, it's describing taqwa. Those who do not kill a life, if killing a life is a transgression, why? Because God has made life sacred. So you have desecrated what has been made sacred. God has made chastity sacred. So by adultery, you have again desecrated the sacred thing. So it's a taqwa. So taqwa will keep you from this. Taqwa keeps you away from God's boundaries. So they also have taqwa. They are balanced between what and what? What does taqwa consist of? Yeah. No, that's not. That's the ihsan. Ihsan is hope and fear. Taqwa is you should know your table. Everyone should know 7 words and their 14 components by heart, without thinking. نعم يا سمي العفو والعدل عفو والعدل. So that's also an aspect of Ibad al-Rahman, taqwa. And then it talks about the next characteristic of Ibad al-Rahman that makes them balanced and being able to inherit both this world and the next world. So again, it says, أولئك يبدل الله سيئاتهم فأما من تاب وآمن وعمل عملا صالحا فأولئك يبدل الله سيئاتهم حسنات وكان الله رحيما. Whoever makes tawbah, repents, tawbah, and believes and does righteous deeds, Allah will change their wrongs into right. Where there are 2 ways that God can deal with your sins and your iniquities, by simply erasing them from your record, as they do in this world. After some years, they erase from the record that you have done this wrong, and done this wrong, and done this wrong. So Allah can do that for you. That's called takfir, kafara, meaning that to erase and remove. Or Allah can choose to not erase those bad deeds, but actually changing them into good deeds. It's very kind of generous. There's one thing, okay, go, you're free, I'll raise your bad deed, so you're not accountable, but it will bother you anymore. That's one thing. But no, doesn't want you even to waste your bad deeds. They still lose out. If they just raise it, you have lost many good deeds. So he would change them into يبدل الله سيئاتهم حسنات. That's why it's a pinnacle of generosity and kindness. Does not just let you go, but let you turn your wrong into right. يبدل تبديل. That's what you call مغفرة. غفر يعني كفر. يبدل الله سيئاتهم حسنات كان. So which of the seven akhlaq is what is talking about? This process of erasing all your bad deeds. Which of the seven akhlaq, seven characteristics that fall on that? Yes, exactly. Tawbah. That's at the beginning. فأما من تاب وآمن وعمل عملا صالحا فأولئك يبدل الله سيئاتهم حسنات كان الله رحيما. وتوبة. Then he goes on to describe from further their characteristics, their balance. والذين لا يشهدون الزور وإذا مروا باللغو مروا كرام. And those who do not witness falsehood, shuhud, because shahadat zur. And when they pass by idle talk, they pass by gently and nicely. That means that if they see, I will also show that they are not in isolation, they are out. They pass by people who are engaged in, unlawful actions. So when they come by people like that, pass by gently and nicely. Not they don't pass by in a way to say that, I'm better than these people. That's why I said that they pass by gently. They don't pass by, proudly, haughtily, thinking that, okay, they are sinful, I am virtuous. That's self, self-praise is dangerous. So if you do that, perhaps in that moment, they are better than you in other sight. Well, maybe they are committing a sin, but they are committing a lesser sin that you are committing. By looking down upon them because they are sinful. Because arrogance, kibr, is worse than any other type of sin. So be careful about that. If you come by groups of people, and they're doing something that's not right. First thing in your heart, pray for them, ask Allah. First thing, ask Allah, or as you have tried them, put this type of fitna on them, save me from the same. So ask Allah to save you. You could have one of them. Allah do whatever He wants. He can put you one of them tomorrow, and He cannot do anything. So it should be there should be a moment of reflection for you. You know, Allah has ibtila these people with this type of addiction problem. So look at them with an eye of compassion and don't despise them. So that's why I said, إِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. When they pass by something else, they pass by gently and pass by, arrogance and disdain with the people that they have come by. So that's also Ibadur Rahman. This is how they. So these are their characteristics. You can see where you fit in. It's not like Quran has made everything very clear and plain. You can know where you stand. Read the description of these people and see. Does this apply to me? Do I have some of these? Do I don't? So you'll see. You can correct yourself as you go. Then at the end, Allah, their dua that they make, رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Oh Allah, grant us from our spouses and our children those who will be a coolness of eyes to us, and make us leader of people of taqwa. I'm sure if you know the story of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, who was an imam, very hard followers who were very hard. Gave him a lot of hard time. So that's why they make the dua. If he make us the imam, because they make us imam muttaqin, then you have no problem. Your leadership is very easy and gentle on you. Because when they have taqwa, your followers have taqwa, no problem. You just relax. Just guide them and things get done. And when they have no taqwa, they'll ask you 10 questions before they take one step. That's what Saddam Hussein, when Allah said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً. Allah is commanding, Allah is asking you to sacrifice a cow. Taqwa kicks in. That go back to God and ask him what kind of cow. What they mean by this question, what is the age of the cow? Because it would answer response to that. What does age have to do with exactly what age? Those are that's our own worldly matters. That doesn't value both sides. But anyway, they ask a question, so Saddam was asked to go back to God. They're asking this question. He said, okay, Awan, la fardun wala bikrun. It's neither an old cow nor a young cow. I mean, so it's in between. He said, do what you have been told to do now. He got the answer. No. Without taqwa, they get satisfied very easily. They want more precision. And the next one is even less relevant than the first one. Ask about God about the color of the cup. إن الله لا ينظر إلى أصواركم وألوانكم ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم وأعمالكم. And that does not look at your forms and your colors. It looks at your deeds and your hearts. That's a very relevant question when it comes to God. God doesn't care about colors. But they insisted. They insisted and they are provided an answer. قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا فاقع صفراء فاقع لونها. It is a cow that is yellow. Very black cow. The cows, yellow cow. So far, it's completely far. So and it's pleasant to the sight. Are they happy now? You got all your answers? So this is the mind of the left. Also see with the left, that's how they proceed. With the right, one answer is good. Yeah, you're happy, you're satisfied. With the left, you keep going. Argument over argument, argument over argument, argument over argument. And never gets to an end. So they ask for more details. Them detail oriented. Because Iman sees unity. So your light, the light from your right sees unity. The light from your left sees differentiation. That's the difference between two lights. It differentiates. This one unifies. This one differentiates. So they still ask more question. Ask your Lord to make it more clear for us. إن البقرة تشابه علينا إنا إن شاء الله لمرسلون. Now we are confused about the cow. Of course, the more question the more confused you get. It doesn't make it more clear, as you will think. It makes it more obscure. So now Musa, of course, he knows the consequences of this kind of questioning God, And he was desperately trying to tell them, just do what you have been told to do and don't ask questions. فَافْعَلُوا مَا تُؤْمَرُونَ. So he gave them the third answer, which is the last chance. They had asked one more time, then they deserve God's judgment. They have no more chance. After that, 3 times, that's it. The Azab will come. Sure. And they said, and they are now what they're asking about. They're asking about the function of this cow. What kind of job the cow does. What kind of songs, what kind of job he does. What kind of job he does. And see what matters, what kind of heart he has, what kind of deeds he do. His job. He's a carpenter, he's a driver, you don't categorize people accordingly. So that doesn't matter. قال إنها بقرة لا ذلول تفيض الأرض ولا تسقي الحرث مسلمة لا شك فيها. It's a cow that is not fully tamed. It's not subject to menial jobs. It plows the land but does not draw water from the well. and it's completely, there's no spots on it. It's all yellow, one corner. And they respond a little bit more. قالوا أنا جيت بالحق. Oh, now you came with the truth. Yeah, I thought the truth from the beginning. Now, الآن جيت بالحق. فذكروا ما كانوا يفعلون. And they finally sacrificed, and they almost never did. So that's why they said, وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Because Imam al-Muttaqeen, those who don't have this problem. Inshallah, I see that back. I think it's time to end. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لنفسي ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. That is how it was to apply for our doubles, do a citizenship, inshallah. Make your application. Before the door closes. Application closes. Bismillah.
I think at this point we'll probably transition to good.
We have
Yeah, I'll thank you so much.
Any questions?
Perhaps we have time for maybe 2 or 3 questions while we're getting preparing.
Assalamualaikum, Imam.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So I know you said that sometimes when Allah gives you a sign, you should just listen and respond. But how do we differentiate whether we should do our due diligence, searching, asking the right people? I guess how do we differentiate if we're doing too much versus just responding?
So that's a good question. So when you're undertaking any matter, you should do your due diligence by gathering as much information as you can around the subject. There has to be a cutoff point. You can just keep going back and forth, back and forth. Once your heart is strong, this is the right thing to do. But you got فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ, when you are resolved in your heart, then make tawakkul and move forward. And once you make up your mind to move forward, you don't go back. Don't say a new information came to light, so I have to go back. No. Once you start to move forward, and put your trust in Allah, and Allah will, inshallah, will bear you out. It's like what happened in the Battle of Uhud. So when the news came that the Meccans have come to the mountain Uhud, it's outside of Medina. So when the news came to Medina, the Prophet ﷺ called everybody to have a consultation. That's what he will do diligence. What should we do? How should we respond? Some say, no, let's leave them there. If they come attack us, in Medina, we know our city better, we can fight them. Some say, no, let's go back, let's go out and face them in the open. So, but the Prophet ﷺ was with those who are saying that we stay in Medina. He was inclined to that opinion because of a dream he had seen. That also is important. If Allah shows you a dream about the matter, so it's an answer. If you get istikhara about the matter, you got an answer, you move forward. So And the dream he had seen was that he said, I dreamt that I was wearing an iron dress from top to bottom, as an armor dress. And I saw that my sword, the tip, broke off in my dream. And I saw that some bulls are being slaughtered. So he said, the iron dress I interpret as Medina. As long as we stay in Medina, we are covered, we are protected. The tip of my sword I interpret as somebody close to some of my blood relation would die. And the bulls as well been slaughtered are some of my companions who will have shahad, will have mortality. He said, I think we should stay back. We should stay in Medina. If they can fight us here, we'll fight them better. If they stay there, it's their problem. But the majority is saying that no, we want to go face them, especially the younger people, as usual. They're enthusiastic and they want to, flex their muscles. so when they insisted, he said, okay, then let's go and face them. So immediately he went home and changed and put his, war dress on and came out, ready to go. So when they saw him, some of them, they felt bad. Said, maybe we force you. We force you against your will to get. If you want to stay, we'll stay. He said, no. Now we can stay. Make up our mind to go, we have to go. There's no looking back. Just got tawakkul. Once you get to this point, you make up your mind, you don't go back no matter what.
Everyone, I think the current time we transition to dhikr. We have the mat set up on the left, the ladies, and on the right. And then we'll pass out the books.
Wonderful. Inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Inshallah.